Let's be honest. When a woman looks you straight in the eyes, your body reacts before your brain does. Your chest tightens just a little, your thoughts speed up, and suddenly you're asking yourself questions you weren't asking 5 seconds ago. Is she interested? Is she challenging me? Did I imagine that? That moment isn't random, it's not small, and it's definitely not meaningless. Direct eye contact is one of the most misunderstood signals in male female dynamics. Most men were never taught how powerful it is or how dangerous misreading it can be. So they either inflate it into fantasy or dismiss it out of fear. Both mistakes cost you. Here's the truth most people won't say out loud. When a woman holds eye contact with you, she's not just seeing you, she's assessing you, measuring you, feeling you out emotionally and psychologically in real time. And whether that moment works in your favor depends far more on who you are being than what she's thinking. A woman doesn't give sustained, intentional eye contact lightly, not because she's fragile, but because eye contact creates a psychological bridge. It's intimate, it exposes intent, it says, I'm present with you. When she chooses to do that, she's stepping into a moment of mutual awareness, and that moment reveals more about you than it does about her. If her eyes meet yours and stay there, she's testing your internal stability. Can you stay grounded, or do you flinch? Do you rush to fill the silence, or do you hold it calmly? Do your eyes beg for approval, or do they rest without tension? Women are incredibly sensitive to these micro responses because they signal emotional leadership. A man who can hold eye contact without forcing it communicates something primal. I'm comfortable in myself. No words needed. And comfort in oneself is rare. That's why it's attractive. But here's where men get confused. Eye contact does not automatically mean desire, it means attention. And attention can be curiosity, respect, evaluation, or attraction still forming. Many men mistake attention for invitation. And that's where things collapse. They lean in too fast, they overinvest emotionally, they project meaning that hasn't been earned yet. A woman making direct eye contact may be asking a silent question. Are you safe? Are you confident? Are you reactive? She's watching how you respond to being seen, because being seen is pressure, and pressure reveals character. Notice something important. She's not staring at you to give you power. She's doing it to see whether you already have it. And power in this sense isn't dominance or arrogance, it's emotional self-control, presence, the ability to stay relaxed when the moment intensifies. Men who understand this don't rush to interpret. They don't immediately assume rejection or attraction. They stay present, they let the moment breathe. That alone separates them from the majority. If you've ever felt a woman look at you and then quickly look away, that doesn't mean you failed. Often it means the moment became real, and real moments require courage. Attraction isn't always smooth, sometimes it's startling. So the next time a woman locks eyes with you, don't panic, don't fantasize, don't retreat. Just notice what happens inside you, because that reaction, that's the real signal, and it's telling you exactly where your strength still needs work. When a woman maintains eye contact, she's not only watching, if you look back, she's watching. How most men don't realize this, but the quality of your gaze communicates more than your words ever could. It can signal confidence, insecurity, neediness, curiosity, or quiet authority in a fraction of a second. Here's a hard truth. A man who breaks eye contact too quickly often does so because something inside him feels exposed. And a man who stares too intensely often does so because he wants to control the moment. Women feel both instantly. Neither feels safe, neither feels attractive. Balanced eye contact is rare. It's relaxed, it's unforced, it doesn't ask for permission, and it doesn't demand validation. When a woman meets that kind of gaze, something subtle shifts. She feels met, not chased, seen, not hunted, and that distinction matters more than most men understand. Eye contact is one of the first filters women use to decide how a man handles emotional tension. If your eyes dart away, she reads hesitation. If you overcompensate with a fixed stare, she reads insecurity disguised as dominance. But if you hold eye contact, then naturally look away without rushing. You communicate emotional regulation. That's attractive because it suggests maturity. A woman may lock eyes with you longer than usual to see if you become self conscious. Does your posture change? Do you adjust yourself nervously? Do you smile too quickly as if to soften the moment? These reactions tell her whether you're comfortable being evaluated, whether approval still controls you. Men who don't seek validation don't try to win eye contact. They allow it. They don't attach a story to it. They don't rush to interpret it as success or failure. They stay grounded in their body, breathing slow, shoulders relaxed, eyes steady but soft. That softness is important. Attraction isn't built through tension alone. It's built through ease. A woman wants to feel that being near you doesn't require performance. When your eyes communicate calm presence, she senses that you're not easily shaken by emotional intensity. And here's something few men are told. Sometimes a woman's eye contact is an invitation for you to lead, not to pursue, but to set the emotional tone. If you respond with grounded calm, you lead without words. If you respond with anxiety or over excitement, you hand that leadership away. This is why two men can receive the same look from the same woman and experience completely different outcomes. One man feels empowered by it, the other feels destabilized. The differences inherits him. Eye contact becomes meaningful only when paired with self-control. Without it, it's just stimulation. With it, it becomes connection. Some women will test you by holding eye contact and saying nothing. Silence amplifies emotion. If that silence makes you uncomfortable, she'll feel it. If you remain at ease, she'll relax into the moment. Comfort is contagious, and don't underestimate this. Women often remember how a man looked at them more vividly than what he said, because eyes reveal intention, they reveal honesty, they reveal whether your interest is grounded or desperate. So when a woman looks at you, don't rush to decide what it means about her. Ask what your reaction reveals about you. Are you steady or are you seeking something from her? That answer quietly determines whether that moment grows into attraction or fades into nothing, because eye contact isn't a signal to chase. It's a mirror. There's a reason eye contact feels heavier than words. Words can lie. Eyes struggle to. When a woman looks directly at you, she's stepping out of autopilot and into awareness. And awareness is where real attraction, real disinterest forms. But here's where most men get it wrong. They assume a woman's eye contact is about sending a message. In reality, it's often about receiving one. She's watching what shows up in you. When the moment becomes real, a woman who is emotionally intelligent uses eye contact to read your emotional availability. Is your interest clean, or is it loaded with expectation? Are you present, or are you already imagining outcomes? She can sense this in seconds because your eyes betray where your mind is. If your gaze carries hunger, she feels pressure. If it carries indifference, she feels dismissed. But if it carries curiosity without attachment, she feels freedom. And freedom is what allows attraction to breathe. Sometimes a woman will give you direct eye contact even when she's unsure how she feels. She's checking her own reaction as much as yours. Does she feel calm or tense? Does she feel energized or drained? Your emotional state influences hers. And eye contact is how she samples that energy. This is why trying to use eye contact as a tactic backfires. The moment it becomes a strategy, it loses authenticity. Women aren't responding to the eyes themselves. They're responding to the emotional state behind them. A grounded man doesn't weaponize eye contact, he doesn't hold it to dominate, and he doesn't avoid it to protect his ego. He lets it be what it is. That ease communicates self-respect. There's also something important men rarely consider: context. A woman making direct eye contact in a social environment may be expressing openness. In a professional or public setting, it may be respect or curiosity. In a quiet, intimate moment, it may be emotional connection forming. Meaning isn't fixed, situational. What remains constant is this: women watch how you exit eye contact just as closely as how you enter it. Do you break it abruptly as if embarrassed? Do you cling too long as if afraid to lose the connection? Or do you release it naturally, signaling you're not dependent on the moment to feel whole? Men who are comfortable alone don't cling to signals, they don't need confirmation. And paradoxically, that's what makes women lean in emotionally. Sometimes a woman will look at you directly and then smile softly. That's not just friendliness, it's reassurance. She's signaling that the moment is safe. If you respond with calm warmth instead of urgency, the connection deepens. If you respond with intensity, it collapses, and sometimes she'll hold eye contact with a neutral face. That's not coldness, it's assessment. She's deciding whether you're emotionally predictable or emotionally volatile. Stability wins here more often than charm. The deeper truth is this: eye contact exposes your relationship with yourself. If you're comfortable being seen, others will feel comfortable seeing you. If you're not, they'll feel the tension. A woman's eyes aren't asking you to perform, they're asking if you're at peace in your own skin. And no line, no tactic, no clever move can fake that for long. So instead of asking, "What does her eye contact mean?" ask, "What did I bring into that moment?" Because that answer determines everything that follows. Here's a truth that separates emotional boys from grounded men: not every woman who looks at you wants something from you. And that's exactly why contact is such a powerful test. It reveals whether you need meaning, can allow it to unfold. A woman will often make direct eye contact simply to gauge your emotional self-sufficiency. Are you centered, or are you constantly scanning for approval? Men who are starving for validation turn eye contact into a transaction. They think if she looks, I win. If she doesn't, I lose. That mindset leaks through the eyes immediately. A self-contained man doesn't assign his worth to her gaze. He receives it, acknowledges it internally, and stays grounded. That emotional independence is deeply attractive because it signals abundancy, not in women, but in self-worth. Women are drawn to men who don't rush to label moments because labeling is a form of control. When you immediately decide what her eye contact means, you stop being present. You're no longer in the moment. You're in your head, and she can feel that shift. Sometimes a woman holds eye contact because she senses strength and wants to test its depth. Strength, that's real, doesn't harden under scrutiny. It relaxes, it remains warm, it doesn't try to impress. Other times, she holds eye contact because she's deciding whether to let her guard down. Women live in a world where emotional safety matters. Your eyes tell her whether you're grounded or volatile, patient or impulsive. She's reading consistency. This is why men who are emotionally erratic struggle. Even if they're physically attractive or verbally charming, their eyes give them away. They flicker, they search, they reveal hunger, and hunger makes women cautious. A calm gaze communicates something rare. I don't need to rush. It tells her you're comfortable with uncertainty, that you don't need immediate resolution, that you can sit with tension without trying to collapse it, and that ability is magnetic. There's also a subtle power in knowing when to disengage. Ending eye contact first, without abruptness or avoidance, signals that your attention is valuable. You choose where it goes. You're not chasing moments to feel alive. Women notice this not consciously, but viscerally. They feel when a man's attention is intentional rather than reactive. And here's something most men overlook: eye contact becomes more meaningful when it's selective. If you look at everyone the same way, it loses impact. When a woman senses that your attention isn't scattered, that it's deliberate, it carries weight. A woman who senses this may look back at you again later, not because she's seeking validation, but because she felt something unresolved. Calm confidence creates open loops. Desperation closes them. The irony is that the men most affected by eye contact are the ones who haven't built internal stability yet. The men who've done the work feel less shaken, and that steadiness becomes the attraction. So When a woman meets your eyes, don't ask what she wants from you. Ask whether you're grounded enough to want nothing from her in that moment. Because when you don't need, you invite. And when you invite, connection has room to grow. What most men fail to grasp is that direct eye contact isn't just a test of attention, it's a test of presence. Presence is rare because most men spend their lives reacting to expectations, to rejection, to imagined outcomes. But presence means you're fully here, fully aware, fully yourself. And that's magnetic. When a woman locks eyes with you, she's scanning for your internal state. Not your words, not your job, your car, or your charm. She's sensing if your mind is steady or chaotic. If your energy is grounded or scattered, the eyes are a shortcut to your psyche, a mirror reflecting how solid you are in the moment, and you either pass that test or you fail it without saying a word. Some men feel pressure, and pressure triggers instinctive reaction, stiff shoulders, fidgeting, nervous smiles. Women detect that instantly and their attraction fades. Other men respond with overcompensation, leaning in, forcing conversation, trying to entertain or impress. That's another failure. Both reactions scream dependency, neediness, and uncertainty. Women don't want to chase. They want to lean into presence. Here's the brutal reality. Most men never learn this because society teaches them that attraction is about pursuit, but real attraction is about stability. Women respond to men who are emotionally autonomous, not men who are hungry for approval. Eye contact is the ultimate litmus test because it compresses all of your internal worker, lack of into a single moment. When you meet her gaze and stay grounded, you communicate several silent messages. I am aware. I am calm. I am comfortable with attention. I am not a projection of your validation. These messages bypass words and land directly in the subconscious. That's why some men experience instant connection even before the first word is spoken. And here's another truth many overlook. Timing matters. Eye contact alone does not create attraction. It amplifies it when paired with context, body language, tone, and your overall energy. If your posture is relaxed, if your movements are deliberate, if your smile is subtle rather than desperate, her eyes register harmony. They feel the alignment, the quiet authority that is more compelling than any line, any gesture, any pickup trick. Sometimes a woman's eye contact is fleeting, other times it lingers. Both carry meaning, but only if you know how to read your own response first. If you flinch at the moment, she registers that. If you engage without attachment, she registers that too. One reaction closes doors, the other opens them. Ultimately, direct eye contact is not a weapon to wield. It is a mirror reflecting your internal state. The more you understand yourself, the more powerfully it works in your favor. Women aren't looking to test or trap you. They're scanning for reliability, composure, and presence. When you offer that naturally, the world around you shifts. So next time her eyes meet yours, notice your own reaction first. That's the unspoken equation that decides everything. Your presence in the moment determines her perception of you, far more than her gaze ever does. If you've made it this far, you already know that eye contact isn't about attraction alone. It's about awareness, presence, and emotional mastery. Every glance a woman gives you is a test of who you are beneath the surface, and how you respond defines the energy you project into the world. Here's the final truth most men never hear. Your reaction to her gaze shapes the dynamic far more than anything she does. A confident man doesn't chase meaning. He doesn't project desire. He simply stays grounded, observes, and lets the energy flow naturally. That stillness is magnetic because it signals a mind and heart that aren't easily swayed by external signals. Imagine this. A woman holds your gaze across a crowded room. She doesn't smile. She doesn't speak. She just looks. Most men would panic internally. They'd overthink. They'd imagine stories. But the man who understands psychology knows the power is not in her looks. in his response. Remaining calm, collected, and present communicates far more than any words ever could. And let's be honest, most men have never experienced this type of unspoken connection. They're too busy trying to impress, too busy interpreting, too busy projecting need. The rare man who can stay grounded under direct eye contact creates what women unconsciously crave: emotional safety paired with confidence. That combination is irresistible. Eye contact also amplifies attraction because it bypasses the conscious mind. Women may not realize why they feel drawn to a man, but they feel it physically. Their nervous system reacts to calmness, presence, and self-assurance. Those microsignals, the relaxed shoulders, the steady breathing, the soft but firm gaze tell her more than words ever could. But here's where the lesson gets personal. The real question isn't what does her eye contact mean? The real question is, what does my reaction reveal about me? Are you anchored or are you reactive? Do you allow the moment or do you chase it? That internal answer determines whether you leave the interaction stronger or weaker. Now, I want you to do something. Think about the last time a woman held your gaze. How did you feel? Did you flinch? Did you overcompensate? Or did you stay present? That is the personal equation only you can solve. And I want you to write your answer in the comments if this video gave you clarity, insight, or a shift in perspective. Like it, subscribe, and share it with a friend who needs to hear this, because understanding female psychology isn't about manipulation. It's about mastering yourself. So here's the challenge for you. Your reaction plus her gaze. Think deeply.